All right, here I am, just doing a last second setup here. All right, so 2021, making a video over my top played games for 2021, as you can see here on the screen. This time I'm trying something a little different. I'm going to try to shave some of the time. I realized my last one was a bit longer when I was talking about 2020. When I say bit, I mean a lot. But yeah, this time I kind of pre-populated all the games I already played or I played in this year versus kind of finding them and talking through them the whole time. I'll probably still talk through them, but here they are all listed. So this is 2021. This was after my big year that I shared previously in 2020. So for context, this year I'm still pretty big on the PS5. Just came out, excited. Starting to tell off the Nintendo Switch just a little bit. It's becoming more of my exclusive um, device slash handheld, as you'll see in some of these games here. I also did pick up an Xbox Series X during this time. Um, so you'll see some of those coming up, as you can see here, Halo Infinite. Um, so yeah, so that was kind of the context going into my 2021 games here. But with that, let's get into it. So to start off, the order, this is more or less the order I played them in, or at the very least, the order my app updated them in. So for the most part, I want to say 85% this is accurate in the order I actually played them. But now getting into it, started off with Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. So this game, I played it on the PS5. I was blown away that this game was 60 frames per second. It was just so smooth. It looked great, felt great, especially on the PS5. So I'm sure it was getting a little bit of boost, kind of just performance-wise from the console itself, considering this was a PS4 game. And boy, you know, Tomb Raider. I didn't realize till I played this how much of a fan I was of Tomb Raider, or I am of Tomb Raider. I didn't get really big into the originals on the PS1. I did play them, I did try them. I remember them being a little too hard for me at the time. Probably even now, to be honest. I'm sure the controls are not great going back to those. I know we're going to remaster here in 2026, or a remake of the original, so we'll see how that turns out, and maybe I'll give it another go. But as for this one, oh, this was fantastic. So full disclosure, I haven't played the Uncharted games. I know that's what these are compared a lot to. So given that, this was kind of like my first experience of that over-the-top action narrative type of gameplay, and boy, did it hook me. I remember some of those cutscenes were just chef's kiss. It really got me into Lara Croft and the story. But yeah, so I know I'm talking a little too much about that game, but I really did like that game. I don't see this game moving from the top of the list anytime soon. Next, this was a Game Pass game on, again, the Series X. Finn, Son of Crimson. This was a fun play. I do remember playing it. It was like pixel art, 2D scroller. I do remember having fun with it. I don't remember anything too hard. I do remember running around on the dog. That was cool. Other than that, it's not too memorable that I can think of. So yes, I think After Tomb Raider is pretty good for that. Next is Dodgeball Academy. This was another Game Pass game that I got for the Xbox Series X. Now this game, I do have some bad memories with, and this was more and so because of the quick resume on the Series X. So something that you may hear me talk about here and there is I might be the only one with the but I didn't enjoy the quick resume as much as everybody else did, especially at launch. That's all everybody was talking about. Quick resume, quick resume, quick resume. possibly played the only games it maybe didn't work with, but with Dodgeball Academy in particular, um, it corrupted my file. Luckily, it was right after I beat it. I still wanted to go back to close out some things, but unfortunately, I couldn't because again, quick resume. For whatever reason, when it finally fell out of my list, it I couldn't restore that file for anything. So even now, if I wanted to go back and play it, I wouldn't be able to do that. But the game itself was fun. It was cool. It was different. Um, who doesn't love dodgeball? I remember picking up different characters. They all had like different kinds of shooting styles, different little like powers that they could use. It was fun. It did get repetitive a little bit after a while. I do remember some spikes in there as well. But for my list, I think of the three I've talked about, it is currently last. Scarlet Nexus. This was a JRPG that I was looking forward to. It looked fantastic. I remember playing as the guy. I ran the guy story on this. I did start a little bit of the second story with the girl, but I never went back to finish that. I think I was trying it on hard for that run. But I did enjoy my time with this. I do the psychonic powers. Am I saying that right? Probably not. Correct me, please. But yeah, I do remember the powers. Throwing everything around was great. Bashing enemies with it, all the different skills, collaborating with different party members was fantastic. And they had some very memorable characters now that I think about it. I remember you would kind of go into like it's kind of like an apartment where your players would kind of chill, like that was like your home base, kind of talk to them, give them gifts and stuff like that. It was fun. It was a good play. So Scarlet Nexus, I'm going to pull this up a bit. This is probably going to be my number 2 game of the 4 that I've spoken about. Yeah, Tomb Raider was strong. Sackboy. Played this one with my family, particularly the girls. This was fun. I think we played this after we played Minecraft Dungeon, which makes sense because Minecraft Dungeon was my 2020 list. But yeah, this was a fun game. I had a lot of fun with it. I think my youngest had some fun with it. My oldest, she swears to it. It was the worst game of her life, and she hated every minute of it. No, I have some fond memories of it. I enjoyed it. With that, Sackboy is going to be over Dodgeball Academy. Let's see, over Finn, again, there's just not too much memorable. Sackboy, I remember music, I remember laughing, I remember having fun, I remember my girls having like their moments when they shined. Yeah, with that, I think Sackboy is going to go over. I can't put over Scarlet Nexus though. But alright, there you go. There's my first 5. Next is Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy. So, full disclosure, I only played the first game here. I don't remember this game being as hard as it was. I did play the first game all the way to completion, ran those credits, and boy, was it difficult. This game was a pain in my thorn. I think I literally just beat it just out of spite. I was too proud to put it down and admit it was too hard. But I did get past it. I did not go into the second or third ones. Growing up, I do remember having fond memories, in particular of the second and third one. I don't think I ever did play the original one, so maybe my experience was mainly on the first one. But yeah, oh man, it was dreadful. But I did enjoy going back to Crash Bandicoot. But with that said, I think it's going to stay here at number 6 out of my 6 games. Because yeah, Dodgeball Academy, as repetitive as it got after a point, yeah, I didn't beat it out of spite. Now, ARMS. This one was highly recommended by my brother, Dusty AF. Hello. Highly recommended. He really pushed me onto this one. Unfortunately, this game just did not click with me in any way. It just did not feel right. I played it, of course. Well, I think the only way you could play it was the detached Joy-Cons. I did that. Honestly, I kind of forced myself just to kind of do one tournament. I don't even think I had a very high difficulty. I might have been even lower than medium. I think it was kind of like a gauge system. But yeah, this game just did not click with me. And I think because of that, it's gonna go at number 7 of the games I've currently talked about. Um, Next, I have Halo Infinite. So this was the big bad game that I had for Xbox Series X. I remember really enjoying the campaign. That was a solid experience. Felt good. The open world that they had, it was fun. I was get my Warthog, get some units, get some weapons. It was just a different Halo experience. It was great. Um, what I did not like was the online. I really disliked the online. It didn't feel like it was fully baked at launch, which I think, in hindsight, it wasn't. Didn't even have Team Slayer. Come on, you can't release a Halo game without online Team Slayer. Um, aren't aren't they releasing Halo Involved without any online? Anyway, uh, yeah, Halo Infinite. This was a very fun play. Again, my ranking here is going to be just purely on the story, the campaign itself, which again I really did enjoy. So with that, it's going to shoot straight up past Finn, and I'll probably put it over Sackboy: A Big Adventure. I think this is where it lies. I'm trying to think. Master Chief. This was also it was fun to kind of play this one as well. I feel like it put good use of the sound system I was playing with. Kind of had that Dolby's Atmos, and I could hear like grenades and stuff like chickering and clicking all over around me. Enemies with the little lasers and shooters, so that was really cool at the time. I think they did a really good job of that, especially on the Series X and Halo Infinite themselves. But yeah, I think this is where I would put it. Honestly, if it wasn't, like I said, I'm going purely off my campaign experience. But again, if the online just hit for me just a little bit, I think it would go up to number 2, but that's where it's going to lie. Next, I have Pokemon Unite. Oh man, this is my first ever game like this. I forgot what it's called. That team. Shoot, I forgot what this type of game is called. But it was my first kind of its. Man, it's gonna drive me nuts, guys. I gotta look this up. What kind of style is Pokemon Unite? All right, it's about to drive me nuts. I gotta look it up. Pokemon style, all right. MOBA. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. MOBA. So this was my first ever MOBA experience. I'm a big Pokemon fan. Love it. And yeah, Pokemon Unite just came at a time when I guess I was looking for a MOBA. And yeah, this game really, it took over my time. And actually playing this game, I actually found a new favorite Pokemon. Finally, after like 20 years, the Pokemon finally topped my almighty Charizard, Charmander, Charmeleon family branch. And that was Scorbunny. Me and that Scorbunny, or Cinderace, we ran that jungle. We fought our way all the way up the ranks to Master Rank. It's probably the first and last time I invest that heavily into an online game. The jungle, I didn't know what a jungle was. It was so cool playing a MOBA, carrying games. It was fantastic. Of course, once I hit Master Rank, it got like crazy hard. Carrying the jungle wasn't a thing you could really do that much. There was only so much you could do on your own at that point. But yeah, oh man, me and Cinderace. Oh, and then he had the pirate attire. Yeah, it was fantastic. Big Fire Fist Ace guy from One Piece too, so it kind of all went together. Yeah, Pokemon Unite. Crazy amount of hours. It's gonna go high on here. I'm gonna put it over Scarlet Nexus. I know it's crazy. Again, my first MOBA. Me and Cinderace, we go so in together. This is a tough one right here between Tomb Raider Definitive Edition and Pokemon Unite. Sorry, I'm gonna get off camera. I actually kicked my shoe off. But yeah, between these two, oh man. Again, the hours I put into this game. Even at launch, I had 4 friends over. There was 5 of us, and we even tried running it. Unfortunately, I guess we were being stacked up against other 5 team units that were just smashing us. And to be fair, we had no idea what we were doing. I think if we knew what we were doing, I think we would have enjoyed it a little more and probably played a little longer. And maybe one or two of those buddies would have joined me in my quest to be the best, to be the very best, like no one ever was. Um, uh, yeah, this game was good. I think just talking about it, I'm talking myself up to put it at number one. But again, Tomb Raider, that was just such a wow experience for me, and it put again Lara Croft and the whole Tomb Raider franchise on the map for me. But man, the experience I had with Pokemon Unite, Cinderace. I'm sorry, guys. I got to do it. Pokemon Unite was number one. That was an experience I couldn't. I can never do that again. Whereas Tomb Raider, there's two other experiences of that, which you could play one of those. Maybe it'll come up in another video. But all right, so let's move on. I know I spent a lot of time there. Where's my time at? So much for trying to be under 20 minutes. Do I have a timer here? I'm at 15 minutes. Yeah, I need to speed it up. Guys. Tales of Arise, another JRPG. I really started digging my teeth into these. This game looked fantastic. The music was great. The characters are great. Unfortunately, the gameplay didn't hit as I liked. Honestly, for I guess what I was looking for, each character was kind of a little too specific in how they battled. Because generally, my JRPGs, I like to swap out my characters often. Like every time I play, literally, I like to change my party. And because of that, I think this game, I still did that, and I think because I did that, I never really mastered anybody, nor did I get good with anybody really. I think I just, of course, leaned on the main antagonist, and yeah, again, the gameplay was the part that took me out of it, and then I feel like also at the end of the story, or I'm sorry, at the end of the campaign, the game it just felt rushed at the end. I don't know if you played it, the final dungeon, it like literally just turns around. Like after it's a brutal dungeon, like where you're fighting like bosses as minions, and then they literally just like turn it around on you, and you have to do it all over again. That drove like that literally knocked the game down for me significantly there at the end. I just feel like the end of the game slightly fell apart. Um, but again, a lot of good to it. But with all that said, it is gonna fly up. It is gonna go over Sackboy. Okay, I think I'm getting warmer. I'm getting closer to where it's gonna settle. Tales of Arise. God, that punk vibe of Scarlet Nexus, I can't get over that. I really did enjoy that, but Tales of Arise, yeah, no, the story, the characters, the visuals, yeah, I think that's just where it's gonna lie for me, which is higher than I thought, but all right, yeah, that's where it sits. All right, next we're going back into the PS5. This was a big game at the time in 2021, the launch. This was showing us the no loadings, the visuals, just absolute peak at the time. This is my first Ratchet and Clank game, and I enjoyed it. It was great. It was fun. It was nice and short. I missed that. I love that. I think I went back and platinum it. So yeah, this was a great game. Got to show the power of my PS5. It was really a good time there. I will put it over Halo Infinite. Trying to think here. This is where it's getting tough. Scarlet Nexus. There's just so much I liked about it. Of course, the gameplay here was just the visuals. It's like Ratchet and Clank was a better game, but Scarlet Nexus, there's just I lean towards my JRPGs, the characters, the visuals, which again I know Ratchet and Clank had all that too. I don't think the characters clicked with me, but visuals sure and heck did. I think this is where I'm gonna let it lie. I'm gonna keep it at number 5 of the games I've talked about. All right, next is Control. I got this one off PS Plus. It was like one of those monthly games that they had on the Essentials. And boy, oh man, what a game to play! This was fantastic. I play also like on a OLED monitor, so the dark blacks. The game looked fantastic. This game actually surprised me too. I didn't realize how much I was going to enjoy it towards the back half of it, or I guess more like the tail end of it. It gets pretty awesome, more awesome, I guess. But yeah, this was another fun experience. Um, and with that, I think I am going to put it over Halo Infinite. Control's a very good experience for me. Over Ratchet and Clank, yes, I think that is reasonable for me. Scarlet Nexus. I think this is gonna be where it lays. Man, I'm trying to think. Yeah, Jesse was pretty legit. Powers, the shooters, the gun that would morph. But yeah, again, a better game, but what connects with me more, yeah, that's going. Like I said, that punk environment did a lot for this game. Oh, and then the hoodie, I remember going hoodie mode. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was good. Okay, that's where that lies. Next is The Last of Us Remastered. I was really excited to get into this. Obviously, it's a beloved game. Like Breath of the Wild in 2020, it may not have hit with me as much as I thought it was going to. It was a fun experience. Obviously, I'm not going to forget that ending anytime soon. Joel and Ellie, their experience was one that I won't forget. But yeah, with that, yeah, I think I did enjoy Control more when I look back at it. Ratchet and Clank, Halo Infinite. Yeah, I think this is going to fall at number 6 for me. Yeah, I think that's a good place. Next is Titanfall 2. I didn't do any of the online. I played this obviously in 2021. This was very, very late after its launch, I guess. This was mainly just a campaign, which I really did enjoy. It was nice, short, and sweet. I think about 5 hours, if I recall correctly. This was a fun one. I really did enjoy Titanfall 1. I think that was just all online, and I do remember going nuts on that. Again, very late when if anything, I beat it, or I played it like after Titanfall 2 came out. But Titanfall 1 was really good. But no, Titanfall 2, again, the campaign, sticking more with the campaign. Again, I really did enjoy my time with this. Even had that moment. There's that one area where you're jumping through like this pipe with fire, and you have to kind of like jump time the back and forth. I just remember that moment like blowing my mind because I was like, "Whoa, this is not even a next gen game," and it's kind of doing what like Ratchet and Clank was advertising. I know probably not in the same way at all, but it was still really cool, and I didn't expect it when I was playing it. But yeah, Titanfall 2. And again, I'm going purely off the campaign. Like for minute, I liked it better than Halo Infinite. But, geez, that is tough. And then I get in the bot, shoot missiles and stuff. That was so fun. Oh, okay. I think this is more or less where we are settling. Sackboy had that family element. I'm sorry. I played that with the girls. It had the element. I think that's where it's going to lie. All right, so here I go. Game number 15. I got 3 more to go, and as you can see, some big ones coming up. Dead Cells. This one I picked up off of Game Pass, I believe. I did enjoy my time. Yeah, it was Game Pass. I actually beat this one fairly quickly. I think like my playtime when I beat it was like under 4 hours. I just got like a very cracked build, and I was able to beat it probably sooner than I guess the game meant me to beat it in. But yeah, because of that, I just felt like I was, in God mode when I played it. But yeah, no, really enjoyed it. I can't hate on this game. I enjoyed it. It is gonna straight fly through my rankings right now. Yep, over Control. Yeah, I'm gonna put it over both my JRPGs. I think number 3 sounds about right for me. I know, it's crazy. Pokemon Unite, what is it doing number one? I know. Let's see if it gets dethroned. Yeah, Dead Cells was great. Absolutely loved it. Fantastic game. Next, I have God of War. This game looked fantastic. It got its PS5 bump during this time. So it was like the checkerboard 4K, 60 frames per second. Boy. Oh, yeah. My first God of War, I didn't play any of the originals. So playing this was just fantastic. I was completely oblivious to it. Wasn't spoiled to me in any way. With that, love this game. I think it's safe to say it's going up pretty quick here. I would put it over Scarlet Nexus. This is where it's gonna start getting a little foggy. I am gonna put it over Dead Cells. So now, again, I still put like Tomb Raider and this series in particular ahead of God of War. Again, I've only played one of God of Wars. I haven't even played Ragnarok yet. But this game was just so exceptional that I would be, remiss to put it over. Not to put it higher, I guess you'd say. And then again, Pokemon Unite. Jeez, I loved it. But again, this game is special. I'm not going to take that away from it. I'd be lying if I said any otherwise. It blew my mind. There were some moments in there. If you know, like when you're back to back, and I was like, oh, like in the fog. That was just an epic moment for me. I remember that just being the moment where I'm like, yeah, this game is it. With that, I think I am going to put it as my number one game for 2021 right now. Let's see if my last game has anything to say about that, and that being Final Fantasy VII Remake. Again, big JRPG guy. Final Fantasy VII in particular was my first non-Pokemon JRPG that I ran all the way to credits in my younger days, in my PS1 days. So going to this was special. I want to say this was. I know I picked it up probably around summer because they came out with PS5 like performance upgrade. So I was able to play with like the 60 frames per second and everything. And yeah, it was fantastic. I think I remember even after beating it, I wasn't going to platinum it because I don't like playing games again on hard just to get a platinum. But I got my molars taken out and I was kind of just chilling for 2 days. So my mouth was in pain anyway. Might as well play Final Fantasy VII Remake on hard, right? But yeah, revisiting Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, and that whole story, and then the of it not being a retelling but more of a new telling. If you know, right? Hopefully, I'm not spoiling anything there. Can't wait for the third one to come out. Hopefully, we hear about that at some point. I'm not expecting to hear about it anyway. Okay, I'm going too much into that rabbit hole. Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is going to be a contender for me. It's going to shoot up over Tales of Arise, over Dead Cells. Interesting enough, the combat. So that's something that all my friends loved was the combat Final Fantasy VII Remake. It didn't necessarily click with me until I got into hard mode. And in hard mode, I feel like that's when everything started clicking for me. And I really started to appreciate the combat. I did play Rebirth, and I did love that combat from the get-go there. But anyway, Final Fantasy VII Remake, where is it going to sit? I will put it over Tomb Raider if it lets me. I think this is where it gets tough. Again, the Pokemon Unite is just more the experience. But yeah, all right, I'm putting Remake over it. And because of what I mentioned about the combat not clicking until I got in hard mode, I literally had to beat the entire game for it to start clicking for me. Maybe it's a me problem. I did it. But because of that, I'm going to use that as a tiebreaker between God of War, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and put it at number 2. This is my year for 2021. Again, another special year for me. As I mentioned in 2022, video games just became something else for me. Something just a whole nother level, a part of my being. And this year just kind of added to it with some fantastic fantastic games, as you can see here. I'm curious what you think of my rankings here. Was I off base on anything? Did you play any of these, like Dodgeball Academy? What about Quick Resume? Did you love that on the Series X? Did you go Game Pass crazy like I did here? I don't know. I want to hear all that. So that's why I'm doing this. I want to talk to y'all. So let me know what y'all think. Hopefully I didn't bore you. Hopefully I didn't put you to sleep. I did fail my mission of keeping this under 30 minutes, but I was able to shave 27. With that, I should probably get it off. But all right. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Talk to you later. I'm out.